Welcome back. Day 431. I saw fun news from the updates. The F-16C is coming. Since we were talking about 90s planes getting added, I think that's closer at least. Deco. I don't think I could I see the camos before? Or I broke it. There it goes. It feels really close to something I would like, but something's off about it, and I don't know what. It is neat, though. Wow, it's got a lot of them. Alright, over to ground. Can I even buy this if I unlock it? No, I can't. Oh well, we can still just work on unlocking it. I think we got too many people trying to head north. It was about 400 away. Something over there I just saw.
Attention to the map! Attention to the designated grid square!
Or they just kind of tucked around that. Something slacking.
The enemy's getting closer to victory. Attention to the designated grid zone.
Kill assist, but not much else. Oh, somebody over there. There.
1 o'clock. Ready. 700. Attention to the map. We've been hit. Attention to the map. Attention to the map. Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid square.
Not a great match. Definitely not the best match. Yeah, I need to get like another 1 million Silver Lion reward. I think in the total time I've played, I've managed to get 3 of them. There. Hello and welcome. This is a different version of this map. I haven't done this version yet. I've only done the version that has this area. I like your avatar with the old 3.5 floppy disks. It's a good one. I still laugh that we use it for the save button and everything, and there are people alive now that hit that save button and have never seen one. There he was.
Artillery strike incoming!
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Good hit. Good hit. Oh, come on, don't run from me. Get back here. Oh, no. That was a bad move. I shouldn't have jumped out like that. And now I'm sticking my butt out. Don't do that. Hi, how are you? Not very nice of you, but I understand. So guys, drop it on me. I like to play them all for different reasons. I love playing jets because the rounds are a bit faster sometimes, and though it might take a little while to get to the fight, once you're there, things stay pretty active regularly. Ground combat, there's a bit more of that push and pull. The things slow down, things calm down, things heat up, they calm down again. And the matches can last longer because of that. But I do like ground combat.
The victory is near. Enemy forces have captured a zone.
I do think it would be cool if they could integrate the naval side into it. So say you'd have a couple people in naval vessels out here dropping shells into the city. I feel like you'd have to limit it to how many people are allowed to spawn it. Although I guess you'd end up with the same problem you have with air right now of if everybody spawns air on your team in a ground combat match, you're gonna lose because none of your points are defended. Oh no. That was close though. Look at those little orchards. Oh, it's a lot of orchards. Yeah, in terms of ground combat, I usually feel more at home in infantry capacity. Yeah, I feel like if the biggest issue when it comes to the cast thing is just without infantry, it's a lot more difficult to deal with them. Whereas usually that blob of infantry just scattered around everywhere, hiding in the holes everywhere, ready to pop out and throw a stinger at you. Versus when you're asking just a bunch of ground vehicles to keep themselves safe. And it's just like, that's not how mixed operations work.
Into your vehicles.
Some of it, though, comes from the issues of doctrine, and it's a really big problem in terms of strategy games. Because in order to accurately represent the strategy style adopted by modern NATO forces, you would require an incredibly complex Joint Chief of Staff system for managing everything. Whereas under most doctrines on the planet, they follow the basic rule of the commander is sovereign and all orders, all resources come from the top and filter down.
Excellent.
But within the NATO system, it operates very differently. It almost operates in chaos, and because of that, it works, if that makes sense. It's like that joke about why nobody could adapt to the Americans during World War II was because even the Americans didn't know what the hell they were doing. Don't go poking my head out that far. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Wasn't sure if I was far enough ahead.
Attention to the map.
Oh yes, a tank on its own against infantry is a sitting duck. It's just a matter of time before it gets overwhelmed. Okay, we got like 3 guys sitting here. One of us is gonna have to take the charge. Is anybody gonna actually?
Artillery strike. Destroyed.
If we haven't really seen much of them right now, I would almost assume they're all coming down the right side of the map then. Ah, damn it. Yeah, it was an interesting thought that I came across when I was doing some research on the various designs of war games, because that's another just set of games that I tend to play, and the doctrinal differences and complexities necessary to model a proper Joint Chief of Staff system and having multiple players required, many of them not doing jobs of any similarity, and some of them doing logistically themed jobs. You would need quite an array of players and types of players to ever truly simulate that sort of thing. Yeah, doctrine will always be a difficult thing to balance because it has components that can't be properly represented in a game like this. Exactly. The NATO way of dealing with anti-air is that you have properly saturated the area and have achieved superiority. Like when I poke my head all the way out and I can't see anybody. Puts me real on edge, especially because I can hear somebody driving around me right now. I think so, anyway. I think that's the same guy that got me before. Yeah, well, another issue that kind of comes up is the size of the maps. When modern tank engagements happen over much larger distances. But the same issue occurs in any infantry game at the moment, where average engagement ranges are unrealistic. Like, realistically, the only game that I've seen to truly get that scope and feel behind it would be the Arma series. And even there, they have their own limitations. I think some of that right now is just because of how old that engine is, and everybody's just waiting for Arma 4. It's like, yeah, one of the funnier ones with, especially American doctrine when it comes to combat, is always have superior numbers. I believe it's like a 3-to-1 numbers in terms of personnel engaged, or you just aim not to engage. Unless you have 3-to-1 advantage, you don't go on the offensive. Oh, I think my peak in that feeling would have to be old Battlefield 2. Sniping players out of the helicopters.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Hello.
Hey! 500! Attention to the map. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Attention to the designated.
I fired enough from that spot. I shouldn't stay there too long.
Defend the B point.
I think that's necessary. We just focus on taking A. And then focus down onto B. We should be fine. Sorry, Trey. Did you just do that? Did you just seriously do that? You having a laugh over there? Huh?
Artillery strike. Coordinates. Bravo. 4. Destroy.
Bravo. Over. Acknowledged. Open fire.
Enemy is winning. Track replaced.
Defend the B point.
Yeah, things be popping over here.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oh, Bad Company was great. A lot of people did not like the Bad Company games. One reason because they got rid of prone during them, and you could only crouch. But I loved the campaign in the Bad Company games. I thought they were so off the wall and still fit Battlefield a bit. Like, they weren't trying to be Call of Duty. Oh, come on.
Attention to the map.
Having such a hard time taking things down with these rounds. Oh, right, because I suck at aiming. That's why. Because I haven't sat and taken the time to figure out where should I shoot. I just shoot center mass. Just do that. Shoot center mass. It'll work out, right? As I say as I die over and over. Whoa. That was funny. He 100% deserves that one. That was funny. I think he probably just came barreling off the hill at me, full speed.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the designated grid square.
Now! Now they're in the air!
Yes, the balancing issues are going to become really apparent as they try to add more stuff. Because, like, the patch notes mentioned that the F-16C Block 50 is coming, which is the same one that's in DCS. And I just don't know, how do you balance that against the kind of stuff that's in the game? Like, realistically, you would have to have an integrated defense system across your map in some way. Almost like they need to bring AI SAM defenses to, like, your spawn points.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid square. Thanks.
Because, yeah, part of the issue is just that without players spawning as anti-air, the aircrafts have free reign over the battlefield. And because players in general are playing ground combat to play tanks, they are not going to spawn as anti-air as often. So the best two solutions to it would be either to heavily incentivize players going anti-air, to reward them for making up that difference, or to add some way. Nope. Aim down, aim down.
Target destroyed.
Or to add some way to have either AI or similar in the environment.
We've been hit.
Some of that could just be related to the amount of data available when it comes to modern aircraft.
Attention to the designated grid square.
The F-16, at least with its huge proliferation around the planet and how many of them have been made, the data about it is fairly available.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Attention to the map.
But then you kind of got to base things from there on,
Grid zone.
well, experience. It's about the best you got. If you don't want to run afoul of international treaties and stuff.
Grid zone.
Attention to the map.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid square.
It's got some pretty good zoom on it too.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the map. Allied forces have captured the zone. Attention to the designated grid square.
When I first started playing, I actually majority played ground combat, but arcade version. And in all honesty, that fixes some of the issues with the gameplay issues here. Because, say, spawning a plane only allows you to spawn it for a certain amount of time, and your body, your tank, is still in the environment alive while you're piloting it. Kind of like the drones work now.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
But that helps keep down on it being abused, and it also happens in cycles where it will spawn 3 or 3, 2 and 2 of you and the enemy at the same time. So there's nobody that's got like a head start on it or anything of that nature. 2 fighters and 2 fighters, they'll get spawned near the same time and have to deal with each other fairly quickly. somebody shot here.
Attention to the designated
Like, one thing they could do is heavily incentivize players taking on AA planes and only playing to take down enemy casts. Like, give an extra bonus for taking down a plane while a plane in ground combat. Like, you get 2 times the RP, that sort of thing. And you'll see players pop into the air real quick to take that down. Thunder unfortunately relies heavily on the stick when it comes to training, and it doesn't work for this sort of thing that they're trying to do. It works in some things, but not this. In this sort of instance, you really want to try and incentivize the players to do what you want to do. It's kind of like when they have events that you can play, but you can't make any Silver Lions from it. It's just, why even play then? I'm literally wasting my time, because I can just go play a regular match and get something out of it. Instead of being like, we want everyone to enjoy this event, so rewards for doing it are 1.2 times. Hello there. Welcome. Yeah, usually when I played arcade version, because it limits you to only 3 spawns, I would almost always pick my 3rd spawn as AA. And sometimes, depending on the map, it is easier just to start as AA. But if they incentivize that more, you would have some players doing that more often, specializing as AA. Like, give reason for a player to want to spend time getting really good at anti-air. I'm just playing alone tonight. For the most part, I just tend to play solo because on a whim, I'll just swap and do something else sometimes. Trying to think, actually, when was the last time I actually played a multiplayer game with a friend? Because, like, I've played online games. I'm playing this right now, but... Right, how long has it been? I don't know, maybe that's something I'll do in future, because I've had people mention it to me here and there, but I think a way I might want to approach it is, I've thought about making a guild, or organization, or whatever it is, in Arma. Now you guys got Arma on my brain. In War Thunder, so that people could join it if they wanted to. And that would allow a way to have people play with me when they want to. Where it is. Oh, weird, it shows my thingy now. It never did. I had it turned off. Oh well. I'm not that concerned. The main thing I don't want is... Oh, what was it? This one's problematic sometimes because of the things people will put to get around the sensors. Add myself? Not at the moment on any of those. But for anybody that wants to go check out my War Thunder stats, you'll find that I am a perfectly average player. Slightly above, but pretty much average. I think I'm something like 65 to 70%, something like that. As another player had pointed out, I'm level 73, and I have the F-16. So, I was good at smashing my head against the wall, but maybe not at actually learning how to play. Arcade match at 11.7. It is so much fun to do air arcade at that level because the turn radius on the jets is so silly. And the amount of G's it lets you pull. Like, you'll pull 12 to 15 G's in a turn. It's wild. Nice. Yeah, I think it's just about where you focus your efforts. And in all honesty, air RB is easier to grind than ground RB.
Thank you very much. Come on now.
It's like one of the weird ones I've heard was that if you want to make SL, a decent place to do it is in naval combat, but I'm not gonna do that. If I'm gonna sit and play naval combat, as slow as it is, it's gonna be because I wanted to. Yeah, naval's about all that's left when it comes to modern stuff that they haven't touched yet. Like, call me when I can drive an Aegis cruiser around. You know, let me go balling around the littoral zone in a Zumwalt. Actually, you can hold the Zumwalt. I don't really want it. Oh. Hello. Crunch. Sorry about that.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Oh, there, I just saw them shoot at me. There's one this way.
Artillery strike. Coordinates. Delta. 4. Destroy. Delta. 4. Acknowledged. Open fire. Attention to the map. I agree.
Get your head out and let me shoot you or what? Oh, you're just gonna let me sit here and cap your point instead. Alright, he's got him. Hello? What is that? 400? Nope, didn't matter anyway. I did go back recently and play a little bit of World of Warships and was pleasantly surprised to see they finally added submarines in as a regular vehicle. Other than that, War Thunder's better. The naval combat feel of World of Warships is way better in some aspects. The feel of firing your cannons, the feel of movement in the ocean, the way friction works, that sort of thing, because they focused on it. That part's really good. But the systems modeling behind War Thunder is just superior when it comes to damage. And you know, that's saying something, because I know there are plenty of complaints about their damage model and their systems modeling. But compared to their competitors, they're doing fairly well. I gotta give credit where it's due. Yeah, I think part of the reason I'm drawn to this game is the vehicle combat aspect. And even back when I played Battlefield and similar games, the main reason I played Battlefield over Call of Duty and preferred it over Call of Duty was just because of the vehicle combat. Nope, I've actually never played it. I have heard of it, and I believe I have played some of his earlier games, but I have not played that one.
Attention to the map.
Because he has, I believe, 2 other games that they did. There would be Heavy Rain, and then their earlier one... Oh wow, that was lucky. And their earlier one, Indigo Prophecy. Which I don't think most people are even going to know about, because it was quite a while before Heavy Rain, and it was even more esoteric, surreal, and strange than Heavy Rain. Total hours in War Thunder is about 600. And the best tank that I have is... in terms of unlocked in the skill tree, 7.7. In terms of that I have, I believe it is 9.3 with the XM1. Actually, I'm just gonna rush across this. Yeah, rush as fast as this little tank can do it. Come on, run! Sprint! You can do it, little tank. You've got this. I don't got this. But in terms of, I think vehicles I played the most, the M42, I think is up there. Or maybe it's the M40. It's the little fast one. That's a bit earlier in the American light tank tree.
A little more effort and victory will be yours.
Not at the moment, but I do think I'm gonna look into the organization system. I don't know what they call it, squad, wing, and see about getting one made for the channel so people can join and play with me a little easier.
Attack the A point.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attack the B point.
Attack the B point.
For tonight, though, this is probably gonna end up being my last match. I'm almost at an hour. I try to do an hour a night. My bare minimum I try to aim for is one match. If I can do... Oh, there's somebody. Nope, that was a car. If I can do one match a night, I'm good.
Repairing. Heading to the base.
Got stopped by the water buffalo. Should be able to kind of see them in here somewhere.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Attention to the map.
Stuck on a piece of brick. You know, that's actually been an interesting thing I've seen in players that watch my channel is the demographics.
He's been killed. He's been hit.
Because a good amount of the people that watch are from Germany. And I say good amount. It says around 6 to 7% German. Although one of my recent videos, it got beat out by like 8% Japan.
Allied forces have captured the zone. victory will be ours.
Whenever it's quiet like this, I always know I'm gonna die at any second. Montana. Interesting. So what do you do in Montana? For anything, really. I don't know much about the state. It's one of the more hilly or mountainous of the Midwest states, isn't it? Nope, that's on fire.
Excellent.
The enemy knows where I am. Good. I want them to see their death coming.
Look out! Attention to the map.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
Follow me. Help. Affirmative.
I think my favorite thing about this vehicle is that it's so kind of silly. It's like a little triangle with tracks, and then they just attached a bunch of fingers of death to it. That, and with the fact it only fits 2 people, pretty great. Is that somebody? No, I think that might be burning. Good job. There ain't no one over there. Actually, I might be fine if I just park in the shadow right here. I've done that before in this kind of tank where it's so small. And if you're in the shadow, quiet, nobody notices you.
Well done. Awesome.
Actually, can I turn off that?
Returning to the base.
I want to see if I can get rid of that smoke that's coming out the side. Yes, I can.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
I always forget that I have binoculars. I do need to use them a lot more often.
Have captured a zone.
Mission accomplished.
Not the best match I've had, but I survived longer. So that's something. It's going to be all for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll be doing this again tomorrow night with another round of ground combat. If anybody has any suggestions for a nation or battle ranking they would like to see, let me know. Good luck with that. So until tomorrow, I hope you all have a good night, and goodbye.